Hey everybody, it's Miss C, fourth grade teacher at Syracuse Academy of Science and Citizenship Charter School. So for this fun Friday experiment, I chose to try to make a sundial. A sundial is a type of clock that was used a long time ago where people would have this kind of clock where they would sit it outside, and when the sun shone down, it would cast a certain shadow, and wherever the shadow was cast would tell you what time it was in the day. Now, I made this out of cardboard, so if you want to make something like this, you need some sturdy paper like construction board, poster board, cardboard. Then you need a straight edge, you need a ruler, a pencil, or a marker, and you will need possibly some glue. You'll see that I ended up using duct tape and it made it not look the best, so I would recommend using some glue. So let's get started. I didn't have a protractor, so in order to make the crescent, I used a plate. You'll see here, this is actually used for fishing, but I used it as my ruler because I didn't have one. Each one of these intervals, which are going to make 5 of the intervals on each side, is about 4 centimeters apart from each other, except for the last one, they're going to be about 3 centimeters spaced. So you'll see I have 5 lines up here, 5 lines on here, and I divided it in the middle. Each line represents time, so you'll see that over here it is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then in the center of each one we have 3 evenly spaced markers for the 3 15 minute intervals within an hour. So it would be 8, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, and then we get to 9. 9, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, then we get to 10. So each of the 3 in the center stands for 15 minutes. And then we have noon, and then we have then we have midnight, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 at night. Now this is the most important part. This is the center piece, and it kind of looks like a fin, so you cut it into a triangle. I wanted to have mine just be able to sit right into the middle. That's why I cut a little excerpt here, but it didn't really work, so I had to improvise and I used some duct tape. But hey, it still worked. So this is what will be used to cast the shadow from the sun. So before I took it outside, it was 1:35. And when I placed it down, in order for this to work correctly, this needs to be facing north. So many people say when you put a sundial out that it should be facing true north, which the only way to do that is by aligning it with the North Star. Now, you don't have to get that fancy or that exact. You can just take your compass and in your phone or a compass that you might have, and you would just face this north. So I faced it north, and we see that here is the shadow, and this, wherever the shadow lies, is what time it is. So we see here that it worked pretty well because the third line here, so we have, this one was a mistake, so we have 1, 1:15, 1:30, and we see that the shadow lines up with 1:30, so this sundial clock worked pretty well. Now, if you want to try this at home, make sure that you watch this video again. When you make it, you want to make sure that the left side is AM, the right side is PM, and you want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines on each side. You're going to have 1 line down the middle, which will stand for 12 o'clock. Within each of these should be spaced about 4.5 centimeters or 4 centimeters apart. They will kind of actually get smaller as you go up. So this is about 4.5 centimeters. This is about 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters, or no, 4.5, 4.3, 4.2, 4.1, 4, and then, or no, this one is 3. So this one was 4.3 and this one was about 3. So really, as long as they are somewhat evenly spaced, you should be fine. 4 centimeters is about as far as you want them apart. And then you're going to put 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is where it should separate. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, if you choose to make one of these, make sure you send me a picture. I can't wait to see, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.